Hey guys, it's Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant, doing a little work with the rifle today. We have the marksmanship program, the armed marksman, that we teach for citizens. And some areas where we see a lot of need for rifle work is, of course, being able to defend around the house or move through the house, but not room clearing. I don't teach that specifically because most of us are alone. So that I'll leave that to somebody else to do. But especially if you had to shoot in and around barriers in different positions, or you had to defend your house. I think about the legal distance we could get a shot is probably 100 yards. That would be a long way to say that we're under stress. And it depends on what kind of optic you're running. Now, there's been a big change. We're running higher level risers now. So this is a 193 from ScalarWorks, an outstanding riser mount, really well made, very easy to click on and off. It's a super, their leap mount's really a good thing, and it's very solid, repeatable zero for it. But it does mean that I've gone from a 1.5 riser to a 193. So things that we need to take into account. If I aim right here, that bullet's going to hit about right here. Okay, that's a huge difference. So if I was shooting and I needed to hit the face, I'm effectively aiming up here. So my aiming point is this point, and then my impact's going to be right there. Okay, that's really important to know. Several reasons. All right, what if we have to shoot around cover? Okay, I shot this just a little while ago so you guys can see. You'll see two bullet holes in it. All right, that bullet hole right here is me looking over the top, clearly seeing the target with my optic and firing one round. Okay, I have a couple barriers out here. They get holes in it like this because people forget the mechanical offset. All right, you have to know this because especially if you're standing in front of something like a brick wall or whatever, this would be a real problem for you. This one is also me shooting out over this corner and leaning to the left. So as I came out to the left, I could see the target very clearly. I could see the alpha, but I still hadn't cleared the edge. And that's another important thing for me to know. That would really change things if I don't take that into account and I'm using it. All right, and then of course the hostage shot. If I need to make a one-stop shot and I need to put it in the face or in the ocular box, I have to aim a little bit high for it. So it requires some practice. I'm a big fan of the AR. It does a lot of things well, but this huge offset from the center of the chamber into the window of the optic makes a big difference for people, and it's something that needs to be practiced. Okay, so I'm running a cheek riser on mine. I got a long neck, I got high cheekbones. This allows me to snap in position. What I would practice is either from a low ready or from a high ready of getting into position with these as quickly as I can and making that offset and knowing that automatically. All right, it's really hard to keep that under pressure. You have to practice that a lot. So if you're going to use this as a home defense gun, measure the longest hallway in your house, probably nothing more than 45 feet or so, which is a long shot. But at 45 feet or 15 yards, I'm looking at hitting right here. So I need to know where that goes. All right, and then if you have some sort of laser aiming device or whatever on your, you have to know how that offset works, especially if your laser's low, laser's going up, the bullet's going down. They're both traveling at the beginning of this very closely in a rise, so you can do that. But of course, the laser doesn't work in bright sunlight, and it doesn't go through windows, and it can refract off mirrors right into your eyes. So it has its limitations too. So I'm running a simple red dot. This is the Bravo Company MK2, simple stock gun. I changed to a 57-degree safety on it, okay, and I changed the riser on it. I changed the stock, but inside it's still the same. This is the one I hand out in class when somebody's rifle goes down, so they have something to practice. Now, I have 4 rifles, all right, and they all reflect different ranges for me. So this is a 100-yard gun or defense around the house, really close. I don't know if I'd want to use it in the house because the guy who had it before me put a war comp on it. And boy, that thing's loud. It needs a can on it for sure. All right. My next rifle is my precision rifle. Okay, it's in 223 Wild, which allows me to shoot a little longer, heavier bullets with it. So my designated marksmanship rifle has a low power variable optic on it, and that's a really good gun out to a certain distance. And I can shoot the 75 and the 77 grain bullets in it, 62, and they perform very well. It's got the right twist rate and then with the right chambering. After that, I have a 6.5 Grindle, which is a unique round. I got to meet Bill Alexander at HK. Really cool to talk to him about the development of the 6.5 Grindle. It is a round that can be chambered in a small frame AR, instead of a large frame like a 308, and you get pretty good ballistics out of it, and it'll go a long way. I mean, it certainly glide to 1,000, but we're shooting a much heavier bullet coming out of that, a 123 bullet instead of a 55 or 75. So it has a little bit more punch. It's very easy to handle, but that rifle has a 20-inch barrel where the other two have a 14 and a half. All right, and then after that, for extreme long range, I have a precision rifle with a 20-inch barrel and it's shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor. So I'm stepping up each time, but I'm using the same sort of platform. The only one that's not a gas gun is the 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm using the Ruger Precision. But basically everything works the same on the Ruger Precision. I just have to run the bolt, but the safety's in the same spot. I release the magazines. It even uses Magpul magazines in it. So I'm using the same thing over and over. And that's one of the problems with these guns. If you don't practice a lot with them, these sort of details of offset tend to fade for you. All right? So we got to make sure this is the truth of the matter. Let me shoot it one time for you guys so you can see. All right, so I'm going to be aiming where the X's are, and then we'll see where the bullets will end up. All right, now that's our offset, and let's see if our math is right. This 193. Yesterday I had to zero it for 100 yards. Once again, that's my zero, not yours. But it took about 8 clicks down to get it on it. I was really surprised. That's 8 MOA at 100 meters. That's pretty big movement for me to bring it down. So it was a big difference with the height over it because we're trying to make those two things line up. All right, going to turn you guys around so you can see me shoot it because nobody wants to watch target. All right. Okay, so we'll just do this at 3 yards so you guys can see it. Okay, I'm going to aim at the X on the body. Okay, I'm going to aim at the X on the head. All right, so I was a little hasty on the body. Let's do one more with that. There we go. Now it's in the right spot. Okay, and if you guys notice, the other hard part with this is working the safety. Every time you have to work the safety back and forth, it's really important to do that. Okay, and the striker fire generation is not quite as good at that because they haven't run safeties very often. So you guys can see, I aim here, bullet hits here, I aim here, bullet hits here, and you need to know that. All right, you need to practice that. You need to practice it from up and down positions or moving into positions so you get better at it. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope so. If you have any questions, reach out, leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing with it. We'll do some more rifle drills so you get a chance to run on those, okay? I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant. If you'd like to host me, we got a low minimum of 10. Host train's free. We'd love to come out to your place and train. Red dot pistols, rifles, new teacher course coming up, how to actually coach and teach, and then image-based decisional drills. So if you want to host us, have us out. And it'll make a big difference for you guys, I promise. 40 years of coaching experience, I'm going to be able to help you move past some of the difficulties that you have. All right, and I'm going to close that for Adam Winch because he loves that. All right, my buddy, if you see that, let me know because that's kind of funny. All right, peace out, everyone, and remember, measure, refine, and perform.